How Newjeans almost changed K-pop. The girl group had a vision for how to rewire its troubled industry. The industry had other plans. In March 2024, when the K-pop girl group Newjeans was awarded Group of the Year at Billboard's Women in Music event, the crew was presented the honor by the unlikeliest of advocates, country star Lainey, who hinted at the distance between their respective worlds, and this rare opportunity to bridge them. It's a place where a gal who grew up in a small farming community in Louisiana gets to shine a light on an incredible group of K-pop performers from halfway across the globe, she said, applause roaring out before the group's name was even spoken. Indeed, the prize pony of Adore, a sub-label of the juggernaut K-pop company HYBE, had spent the previous year affirming itself as an exciting next step in the genre's evolution. Billboard felt like the perfect American institution to recognize this leap. The 2023 Get Up had made Newjeans only the second K-pop girl group to top the Billboard 200 after Blackpink. But as the group performed Super Shy and Ita, Get Up's hits, the distance between the two units couldn't have been more apparent. Blackpink was the final benchmark of an old K-pop model. Newjeans was a brand new one. For one thing, there was a profound understatement to the Newjeans performance, members gliding in and out of the lead spot with uncanny precision, distinct from the flamboyant mini showcases that had come before. The sparkling fits, flowy choreo, and muted music were impressive on their own, but the rush was in how seamlessly they worked together, telling a story about style. Where many K-pop groups spend their press runs trying to be all things to all listeners, Newjeans had spent its breakout year building an aesthetic niche to live in, where some K-pop singles are so obsessed with now-ness that they feel out of time the moment they're born. Newjeans songs seem to be angling for something timeless. For a moment, it looked as if the group could be K-pop's future. If not a bellwether, then at least a new barometer, and a message to the industry to reconsider how it does business. Yet only a month after the Billboard ceremony, that horizon became clouded in uncertainty. A power struggle erupted within HYBE for control of Newjeans' future, benching the group for over a year and dividing its fan base. A surprise announcement this month promises that Newjeans will be back, but the long absence leading to this unsteady return has felt, to those paying attention to the genre scandals over the years, like the latest evidence of a lingering rot. Even many superfans will tell you that K-pop's pageantry has often masked a troubled business model where impressionable young trainees commit to a life run entirely by their agencies. Signing on the dotted line can come with extraordinary expectations: plastic surgery, disordered eating, heavy restrictions on socializing. South Korea's Fair Trade Commission finally capped K-pop contracts at 7 years after a 2009 controversy around the boy band TXT, who coined the term slave contract to describe its own 13-year agreement. K-pop was also at ground zero for the rise of toxic stan culture, from the doxing of journalists to the cyberbullying of artists. One such star, Sully of the girl group FAX, died by suicide in the midst of unrelenting harassment. Concerns over these practices have been a public talking point for years, but reform efforts rarely stick. In 2019, Yang Hyun-suk, co-founder of VD Entertainment, was forced to step down from the label after threatening a whistleblower to cover up a drug allegation facing one of his artists. He has since returned to VD and is helming the girl group Baby Monster. The industry, famous for its finely honed artist development method, sometimes called the K-pop formula, has always lived with this tension, a creative philosophy with proven results, and a near-constant struggle for fairer relations between performers and the adults who oversee them. The latest and most public installment in this fight began last spring with an outlier act suddenly at the center of the story. In April 2024, Newjeans found itself caught in a quarrel between two corporate masters. On one side stood the top brass at HYBE, the largest of the country's big four entertainment agencies since it went public in 2020. On the other was one of their deputies, Min Hee-jin, CEO and founder of Adore, who had launched Newjeans in 2022 and served as a creative director for its music. An industry veteran by the time she joined HYBE in 2019, Min had arrived touting progressive ideas for managing talent, already positioning her next group as an alternative to K-pop's star system. Hive had given her the keys, but now alleged that an internal audit revealed she sought to seize total control of the door, and took steps to fire her. Min denied such a thing was possible, and claimed the falling out actually stemmed from her complaints that the company had sidelined Newjeans, stifling its growth in favor of other girl groups it was launching. That August, Adore announced Min had stepped down as CEO, while the producer insisted she had been forced out. When asked, in an interview with the English-language newspaper Korea Jongbing Daily, why she and Newjeans were so committed to working together, Min attributed the closeness to her unique style of artist development, saying, "I have had many thoughts and concerns after nearly 20 years in the entertainment industry. I felt it was crucial to change the rigid dynamic between producers and artists. I was concerned about how to guide young artists in a way that benefits their lives and the industry as a whole. In that context, Newjeans is like a child that comes from my heart and mind. Beyond my personal desire to support them, I aim to establish a new kind of relationship within a business model as a producer. That's why I'm committed to this challenge and refuse to back down easily."